Welcome back, everybody. It's been a minute, but we're going to be talking about books on Kickstarter. So let's crank open that good old screen share. Ah, there we go. We're just going to have fun with this. We're going to look at some live projects that have already funded, and we're going to start off in the children book area. We got three lined up. The Midnight Moth, an illustrated picture book by Dead Good. That's the company. The Little Missile Companion Sunday Stories for Little Hearts, and the Story Master's Tales Quest RPG Folklore Adventures. That sounds like a gaming book, so we'll probably skip. Well, you know what? We'll take a look at it. There's only three in this category. So let's open this one up, or all three rather, and we'll just go hit them right down the line. Get rid of this. It's going to be spam there. Yep. And spam here. All right, kicking off with The Midnight Moth, an illustrated picture book by Dead Good. Magical story for children and adults about love, loss, and light in the darkness. Written and illustrated by Lindsay Vergers. And they have 6K, they have 7K and change, and they got 18 days to go. So cool for them. Oh, it's jittery. I don't know if that's going to come up on the video, but these words are jittering around. Okay, that's kind of adorable. Their goal is to raise support to independently publish and print the first edition of The Midnight Moth. This will allow the book to gently start conversions about mortality, loss, and grief with young children, families, and people of all ages. We're hitting the dark tones here. Haha. Story. There is a picture with a baby, kind of adorable. Weird and wild imaginations, cool. And oh, she talks about her failures. Not a lot of people do that, honestly. I like that. More jittery things. I like this artwork here. All right, now we got sketching ideas. Big eyes. Children and big eyes is a thing. So this is good. Wow. Okay, what is this? Concept work. Okay. I don't know if it's a hat or mushroom people or what, but that's cool. Say here, and the giant mouth turned to dust. The children were carried home, and eyes drooping and hearts mused. Okay. We got this butterfly moth thing. Oh, it's gonna be a this is not a real thing. This is not what the book actually will look like. This is a generated image. I know because I have used this in the past before. And it does say mock-up, so that's fair. That's their intended idea of what it's supposed to look like. A double, okay, cool. Who's it for? The Midnight Moth is an A4 size picture book that will help children practice something most adults were never taught: how to respond to death with calm and care. Through interactive worksheets in the back of the book, children are invited to design a memorial ceremony for the Midnight Moth. Wow. Okay. This immersive approach helps them learn that children can create goodbye rituals too. The grief can be expressed through action, and the loss can be held quietly and gently. I like the spiral bound version, actually. That'd be good for children. That is, yeah. This pie chart's pretty accurate. Printing cost. Yep, that's where most of the money goes. She did her own artwork. Otherwise, artwork would have a chunk of this pie chart as well. Not sure what she means by contingencies. Kickstarter fees is accurate. Postage packing looks accurate. And publishing costs. Well, she did her own artwork, so little cost here. Otherwise, this slice would be a bigger piece of that pie. There's self-publishing. We have chosen hardback, fully printed. Okay. 48 pages, high quality, full color. That is a good grain of paper. Cool. And silk paper. Got it. Stitched. Great. And color papers. Awesome. I took a little longer on this one than I intended because it is an interesting idea. And they're really artsy about this one. Okay. Any more fun pictures? That looks to be some kind of funeral. Yeah, okay. And oh wow. Oh, it's like a cult with a fanny pack. Okay, was not expecting that. It's for a festival though, so okay. No cult, just festival wear. I was getting worried for a second, like this is cool, and then oh, what have I done? Anyway, carrying on. Um, $200, but they're funded with $300. Okay, good for them. We're just gonna give this one a quick scroll. It's pretty much what it is. On the tin can, the missile book for children. Yep, not much to say on this Kickstarter. They have a whole two backers and 3 days to go. All these Kickstarters I will put down in the description below. You can decide to support them or not. So this one I was questioning on the Story Masters Tales Quest RPG Folklore Adventures. 8 pick up and play family fantasy role playing books, ages 7 plus, solo or group, quick prep, narrated soundscapes, alternative to D&D. I like D&D. I'm not sure I want an alternative to it, but okay. Uh, is this part of a series? Well, what's their goal? They want 600. They've got 4,027 days to go. Okay, people are wanting it. Let's see. Anything of note? Okay. The artwork's really good, actually. It does have some of that old school revival black and white art, which I appreciate. So character sheets here. Um, Best-selling Story Masters Tales games. Okay. Sounds like they've been doing this for a minute because this is very clean and regimented. Reminds me of what I used to do. And it does have the sidebar on the left, which is helpful. So, yeah, okay, cool. Let me move these down the line. Yeah, you go away, you go away, and you go away. All right, we're on to another genre, and it is going to be the nonfiction genre. So there's 22 projects here. We're not going to go through all 22. I'm just going to pick on what strikes my fancy. Street food cookbook. Okay. Masters of Unlocking, a Resident Evil retrospective, like literally the game. Okay, we're checking that out. Extended. Okay, what is it called? Your project cannot be funded in 36 hours. What is this? We're gonna take a look. That is not the title. The Hungry Historian. Anyway, more cookbooks. The inventor of the tiki bar. That's cool sounding. Don't breed on me. That is a title. Short history of abortion. Got it. New from Izzy Books. Beloved creatures. Everybody likes dogs, so take a look at that. What else we got here? That more RPG books. Shadow Dark, of course. It's a very popular gaming system for those not in the know. Silent Cuts, The World Without, U.S. Aid by Terra, Third Wish Magazine, Tarot and Astrology. What is this? I'll Never Be Enough and Other Lies of Carrie's. The biography? Parts that said I was never enough and how I learned to love. Okay. In Search of Medicine Buddha. And I like graphic memoirs. We'll take a look at that. And what's this last one here? A deck of cards. It's nothing to do with books, but it's a deck of cards. Going over here. All right, let's get rid of these ads that we'll encounter. Uh-huh. And you go away. I think this is the last one here. All right, so starting with this one. Masters of Unlocking, a Resident Evil retrospective. Hey, they've met their goal by $400, 244 backers. Cool. So it's a celebration of the Resident Evil series. For nearly 30 years, Resident Evil has defined, challenged, and reinvented survival horror. I agree. The quiet dread of the Spencer Mansion to the cinematic scale of its modern entries. The series has never stood still, it has evolved while also returning to the core tension that made it famous. Okay. What is my book about? Detailed, respectful exploration of that journey. This book celebrates the full history of the Resident Evil, examining every entry in the series and how they move the franchise and the wider survival horror genre forward. Cool. 120 pages of the book. Goes to the 90s. Yep, makes sense. When the game came out, the original, that is. A single game. So they're going to focus, each chapter is going to focus on a single game, exploring the ideas, influences behind its creation, how it built on or reacted against earlier entries, key gameplay systems and design decisions, the critical and fan reception at the time of release, its long-term impact on the series and the wider industry. So, for those not in the know, I do like Resident Evil, and I have watched all the films. And if you've ever watched the original Planet of the Apes, it's very much like that. The first one's good, the second one's half as good, the third one's half as good as the second one, and it continues that down that chain of half as good as the previous, or twice as bad. Not a great time. First one, enjoyable. Second one, okay. Um, that's my opinion on it. Now, the actress in there, who also played on The Fifth Element, she is amazing. And more power to her for powering through that horrible franchise, or what became a horrible franchise, in my opinion, at least in the film. The games are loved and adored, of course. Um, I know that's going to show up well on video, but it's them flipping through the book. It's more little screenshots, backer tears. Okay. Okay. Yep, all concept art. Stretch goals. What do we get? A bookmark, additional pages. Okay. Including your name in the book, an art print. I'm only really interested in the additional pages. So to me, this should have been one. I mean, I get it. Bookmark is cheaper than hiring additional pages, but yeah. This is another neat little project if you are a fan of it. So yeah, we're gonna go on to this one. The Codex of the Medieval Doctor, an illustrated tome revealing how medieval doctors understand the human body, disease, and healing. Man, it got a lot of money, 70K. Still got 26 days to go. I like that if that's the actual book. But let's see. The Codex of Medieval Doctor is a richly illustrated. See how they're telling me about the book right off the gate? Good for them. Exploration of a time when science, superstition, anatomy, and belief were inseparable. In the medieval world, physicians brewed remedies, performed surgeries, occasionally dissected bodies in limited academic context, and recorded their understanding of the human body in handwritten manuscripts. Medicine was observational, symbolic, experimental, and often deeply flawed by modern standards. This book reconstructs that world through careful historical research and visual interpretation. Great. I love that they did this. Short, sweet, and to the point. Concept art. Again, I hope the book actually looks like this. I would love for it to. Large format, illustrated, herbal medicine remedies, surgery tools and procedures, medieval anatomy, physiology, herbal medicine remedies, disease, plague, and diagnoses, bloodletting, humoral theory, and early pharmacology. The beliefs and misconceptions that shape medicine's practice. Awesome. If you're into this kind of stuff, or just vaguely curious, this would be a fascinating pickup. 300 plus full color pages. So, oh, Smithsonian binding. So, for those that know what that is, and this will be a good video for me to do later, so your book lays flat when you open it. It's designed in such a way where you open it, it's not going to try to close back in on you. It's just going to lay flat. I like that they did that little upgrade, gold foil stamping, and embossed emblem. This is not a casual bookshelf book. You're right. It's a table book, conversational piece, a heirloom style volume. I like how they're not trying to hide the fact of what they are. That's great. Most history books explain what happened. The Codex shows how medieval medicine was seen, practiced, and believed at the time. Cool. Hand illustrated diagrams, marginal notes and labels, tool, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I think it's cool. Oh, look, cool artwork. Haha, little mouse of disease, skeleton dude. Haha. Got the Reaper. All right. Only thing I would have liked is, I mean, I may have got to see more if we watched the video, but just more concept art pieces, just to give a better taste. But hey, they're doing great. Almost 700 backers, lots of time left on the clock, and more than funded. So let's take a look. Searching for Dawn, the beachcomber, the extraordinary life of the godfather of the tiki culture and the inventor of the tiki bar. I mean, that's great. 6,800 bucks that they wanted. They're at $57,000. 6 days to go. Cool. Um, Gives a background of this man. Dude's a character, right? Just the whole outfit, the cigar, the cocked hat to the side. Okay. Got some interior shots. That's very cool. Interesting. Taboo. Haha. Look at that car, man. Talk about luxury. Even by today's standards, that is a pretty cool car. And you got this guy. Is this oh, it's the author. Okay, just dressed up like the guy. All right. Talk about your drinks. Okay. Little tiki guy. Uh-huh. Man, okay. Expand your tiki library. 3 essential books for your tiki collection. Very cool. All right. Then we got this one, our dog book. 84 backers. They wanted 13 and a half plus K. They're at 14,300. They did it. Good job, guys. And Rabbi Charles Middleberg. Okay, Rabbi. Is this a religious book? Readings and prayers for people and their pets. It is a religious book. That is so cool. 3 rabbis. I'm not going to finish that joke. We're going to go on. 3 senior rabbis of the UK. Okay, maybe I will continue it. Haha. 3 senior rabbis of the UK's 3 major non-Orthodox movements all share one thing: a tremendous love of animals. Recognizing that there are few Jewish resources designed to offer texts and rituals for animals in our lives, they have worked together to compose Beloved Creatures, an anthology of ancient wisdom for modern needs. So it is a Jewish religious animal companion thing. I mean, that is a niche. Okay, very cool. I'm giving your child a pet. All right. Um, it's very to the point. Tells you what it is. Um, Sounds cool. All right, now we're gonna move this over here. And there are a couple other ones. You go away, you go away, you go away, and you. All right, next up. All right, there weren't any live projects, so of the translation works, but I'm a fan of books in translation or translated works. So we're going to take a look at some of the projects that strike my fancy that have been funded and have been successful before. So we're not going to talk about the whale book over there. And this sounds cool. This 10 Nights of Dreams, Japanese classics revived, Korean folk tales, 4 feminist retellings. We'll take a quick look at that. Storm Beyond Your Reach. I like the artwork, so we'll take a quick look at that. What's this one? Not so much a fan of that. You got anything else cool looking? I'll let you know in advance. Our last category is huge, so we'll be on that the longest. Okay, there's our images. 4 seasons in Japan. Circular gods, medieval manuscripts. That sounds cool. Arabian stories are always neat. 3rd editions, anime library. Okay. You know what? We don't talk about anime enough. We'll take a quick look at that. And we're loading. I don't know why the images are taking so long. Yeah, because I have a million tabs open right now. Um, Try one more time. Ecuador. Okay. mean, Alan Parsons Project. Got to look at that. It's an actual opera book. We'll take a look at that. All right. Learn Spanish through Spanglish. No, thank you. All right, let's take a look at what we pulled up here. Oh, let's get rid of the spam in advance. Blah, blah, blah. And are we gone? Go away. And their opera book, I think, is last. Looks like it. All right, back over here. 10 Nights of Dreams, Japanese classics revived. It's illustrated and reimagined in English. Very cool. I'm not going to do the video. We're just going to do a quick scroll here into the dream world. Imagine wandering the surreal, sensual dreamscapes of one of the most creative minds in the history of Japanese literature. That is super neat and detailed artwork. Love that. Okay. Fluid, accessible English accompanied by enchanting illustrations create an experience as mesmerizing for English readers as the original is for Japanese audience. So, quick note here. Sometimes bilingual Japanese and or different countries in Asia don't like the English version as much. And I get it because depending on the words and the tonality, as we've talked about books in translation before, it doesn't strike the same chord. I don't think I've ever heard anyone said the English translation is better from somebody that was bilingual in both languages. For whatever reason that is, it just doesn't do as good. I like to have a no AI statement. Got to do that these days. All right, so the mission of this project is to bridge divides through art, not only the cultural and linguistical divide, but also the divide between dreams and waking life. 10 Nights of Dreams is not just a book, it's an experience, journey through the subconscious mind intertwined with the richness of Japanese history and culture. Creative Translations observes the elegance, character, and content, emotional depth of the original, ensuring that each phase resonates with the beauty intended by the author without sacrificing cultural accuracy. The translation. Okay. Other translations? She was the darker complexion with thick oak. Okay, it's just giving an example of their translation. That's kind of neat that they did that, actually. I like that. More books in translation should do this, unless it's the first one, then they can't do this. Okay. And they're right. Translations do require trade-offs. Okay. Illustrations. Super cool. Oh. Do you do the same thing? No. I don't know if this comes up on camera, but if I highlight over this image, it shows me the different, from kind of like a start to finish process of the beginning of the image to the end of the image. That's cool. PDF, EPUB, hardcover. Okay. Okay. Very cool. All right. All right. Very cool. All right. We go on to the Korean Folktales for Feminist Retellings, a collection of folktales and personal essays by feminist authors of Korea. And this is the English translation. It's got a cool cover. All right. 2021. All right. This book is for anyone who grew up listening to the old folk tales told by their mothers and grandmothers and thought there must be more to the story. Featuring writers, thinkers, artists, and educators, Korean folk tales for feminist retelling reimagines some of Korea's oldest narratives in powerful, innovative ways, centering the stories of intrepid, intelligent women who have, for too long, been relegated to the role of folk tales, victims, or villains. In each of these four folk tales, patriarchy is challenged, sexism is subverted, sisterhood is celebrated, and women's voices lead the way. Take the journey from the ancient Seoul to some of Korea's most rural provinces as the feminist authors tell traditional tales their way through the eyes of the formidable and compelling woman at the heart of each story. Each folk tale in this collection is followed by a valuable author's analysis in which the writer describes her own journey through the folk tale, shares her creative process and inspiration, and invites readers of any age and background to the ways of thinking about how women's stories are told, by whom, and why. So I'm not too familiar with Korean literature, but the stories, and I'm not going to do the authors' names, are The New Kong, The Legend of Hong Kiliong, the story of Guhai, the nine-tailed one, the I apologize, Sunnyo and the Woodcutter courtroom drama, and then an appendices analysis the Bear Woman and Tiger Woman and the Dagon myth. Okay, cool. All right, so there's that one. What do we got over here? Somewhere Beyond Your Reach, stories by Zaiji, English language short story collection in the debut book from Clark's World Books, a new science fiction translation imprint. I did choose this one because it did look science fiction-y, and that just confirmed that. Right. So as a continuation of a previous project, award-winning was okay. Okay, so this is a collection of. All right. I mean, they kind of said that, but just telling us its history. The book. This is what I want to know about. Okay, approximately 90,000 words, most of it previously untranslated. Many stories haven't been translated yet, so we don't have an exact word count. This estimate based off previous translations. Okay. And they give us a list of stories here. I like TikTok. That's a fun title. And no, not that silly social media thing. Any other titles that are catching my eye? I mean, that's just terrible. All you need is love, but okay. As yet untitled story. All right, that one caught my eye. Pretty cool. But they mean it literally. That's not the actual title. Unless it is, then yes, I love that. Okay. Signed and numbered, neat. Okay. About the lot of people involved. Another pie chart. So it's a science fiction anthology, it sounds like. That's cool. Moving on down. Another anthology of, I'm not sure how you say that, Gujarati pulp fiction, crime, science fiction, and horror writers in English for the first time. Okay, and they give us a place on the map, and it's from India. Very cool. I like pulp books. I sell pulp books. I read pulp books, so this is kind of cool. That's modern pulp cover art to be fair, but that's okay because it yeah 1920s 2010s. All right, say how many there are because that's what I'd be curious in. Translator, the editor, the covers, the stories. Okay. Although we haven't finalized the table of contents for our anthology, there are several short novels and stories that we're sure we're going to include. Here are a few of them. All right. The Coils of Fate. We got here Bar Dancer. They got suits on and they're diving underwater. I like it. Varenlock, the Undersea Realm. Okay. All right, so they gave us a small sampling size. And I do agree these covers are very well, minus that one. Arguably pulpish, like 80s pulp style. Same for this one, but this first one's more of 50s, 60s type era, but it's very, very cool nonetheless. Like the dagger. And we got the Arabian stories. Arab thoughts put into perspective. The project is aimed at translating contemporary Arabic short stories and publishing them in the original and translated version. Neat. What else you got? Well, I can't watch the video, my friend, because I am doing a video on your Kickstarter. Hope that as this world they are immigrating to won't ask them to abjure all their beliefs that connect them emotionally to the world they have left behind in order for them to find a new place to belong. Okay. Literary contests. Okay. Very cool. Books. So far, the only way to access Arabian Stories content is online. However, this may not always be. I'm not sure that's an accurate statement. There's been like 1,001 Nights, right? I mean, that's a famous work that's been translated into English. Arguably translated works, but 30 best stories. Okay, we're getting 30 stories here. That's very cool. Okay. I'm going to move this off to the side. We. And again, I will have links for all these down in the description. Did I miss one? I missed one. Maybe a couple more than one, but here we go. Third edition is the Ultimate Anime Library. Oh, Berserk. Oh, wow. I know all of these. That is so cool. What is this? After a successful campaign dedicated to video game books, Third Editions is back with translations of three new projects. You literally did all three of these? How much money did you get? Huh. Not very much. I wonder why. New campaign. Help us translate three new books in English. These new projects are dedicated to Japanese animation. Okay. Okay, got bookmarks. Okay, we got Akira. We got the complete works of the animation are here. So it's more of a nonfiction. And we got Berserk. Berserk is many, many volumes. So I'm wondering, is this the first book? If I'm having this much confusion, and though I haven't watched the video or read this deeply, imagine others did too. Oh, collector's box. I like tray cases like this. Very neat. All right, we'll move this one over here. What do we got? The Alan Parsons Project, the English book. International English edition of the first book in the world about the Alan Parsons Project, originally written in Italian language. Hi. Well, hi. My name is Francisco Fiera, and I'm the author of the first book in the world about the Alan Parsons Project, the legendary pop rock band from the 70s and 80s. Well, I mean, Francisco's very friendly, and look at this goofy ass smile he's got on his face. Just looks like a happy guy. Um, so he published it in his native language. Now he's just looking to expand into English. I mean, it's just doing. That's funny. They made the logo out of the books. About the band, very cool. Just do a quick scroll here because that's pretty much exactly no other explanations needed. All right, so moving this on over, we got the Kadimo Opera. Okay, it's a game and had the power flicker there. I guess I'm still going. Weird. Um, yeah, not much really to say there. Just if you want an RPG book, artwork looks neat, I guess, and oh, it looks much better here.